All right. Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 24th. A little bit of a late start today. Shandy woke up in the middle of the night, had to go make it a caca. I had some trouble getting back to sleep. Nonetheless, I am here and have not missed a day yet. I don't plan to. So, I'm going to give a disclaimer that if you have any children or if there's anybody kind of adverse to adult type subjects, now might be a good time to tune out. I will give you 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. All right. So I woke up this morning and, oh boy, I, on our social media, which, make sure you check us out on flawed.com. You can see my daily Flawed vlogs as well as all of our episodes. But we are on social media. We've been kicked off, but we are on all the Project Mockingbird social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gab, MeWe, Flawed Inc., Flawedcast, Flawedcast CLE. But this morning I woke up and got a follow request on Twitter from a young lady. Hopefully it's a young lady. And so I clicked on the profile just see, who it was. We get a lot of other podcasters and vloggers follow us, and I like to connect with people. And there were a lot of adult type images on her Facebook page, or I'm sorry, her Twitter thread. Like really adult. Like we got we got suspended on Twitter for violating community guidelines. I have no idea how this couldn't be. But it got me thinking about the subject of sex, and which I'm a guy, and scientifically guys think about it like infinitely more than women, although the older I get, the more I think that is a falsehood, or at least it's not as exaggerated as it was led to believe. But this is actually an area I struggle with, especially being single and trying to be a good Christian guy, whatever that means these days. But I think that the church has done a very poor job of like talking about the real issues, the real struggles of dealing with sex and sexuality. And I'm just going to say this, I don't know if I'll be banned, but among, with a man and a woman, because that's my proclivity. I'll just put it that way. And it's hard. Like you read about Solomon, who had like 900 wives and like hundreds of concubines. Like, I don't know how the guy found time to rule Israel with all the baby making he was doing. And then you turn to the Beatitudes, and Jesus talks in Matthew 5, starting verse 28, it says, if you look at a woman with lust in your heart, it is as if you commit the sin of adultery. The Bible also talks in other places, flee youthful lust. And it's in this culture, in this society where it's so prominent and it's like a struggle. And I'm not into porn. I don't watch porn. I don't get it. I know a lot of people who are Christian, a lot of men and a lot of women who are into porn. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I got a plank in my own eye, but the Bible also says, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. And it's really hard, no pun intended, to do that. And especially when everything, it's just so pervasive. It's just so like in your face. And, and now, like, I know there was a show on Netflix, Cuties, and it just seems like pedophilia is becoming pushed upon us and just spread wide and far. And I'm sorry, I think that's repulsive. Typically, I'm pretty libertarian about things. Like, people can do what they want to do. Just don't murder babies and leave kids alone. If you're a grown consenting adult, what you do in the privacy of your house is no more my business than what I do in the privacy of my house is your business. Political tirade aside, I don't know if I'm the only person with a system of faith that genuinely struggles with, that isn't married, I'd say that way. Or if you are married, been there, done that, but that genuinely struggles with the idea of how do you properly position sex in your heart in lieu of keeping it your heart in line with God. And it's a genuine struggle. I have friends that are like, yeah, I love God, but I need to go slay that dragon. And I think that's kind of crude. Although, guy humor, I like dick and fart jokes as much as the next person, but I just, this is just a genuine struggle. And I've just decided that with these, I'm going to be very honest and very open. And this is what I have this morning. Just the idea of that physical pleasure of, that God did create that, for marriage, and like, how if you're not in that kind of relationship, or even if you are, because I know a lot of marriages that aren't physical, which seems like a shame, and I can attest to that. But I don't know. I just want to know, like, what you guys might think. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm the only person that struggles with this. I don't think so. But I'd like to hear from you guys. How do you process? How do you deal with this stuff? Like, is this an issue for you as well? Or do you just not care? Let me know. I do. I genuinely want to know. But I know with this issue, as in all issues, I'm trying to be strong, put on a brave face, but I'm also, I'm getting in the arena.